Hello, this is Suman from BN223 Group 3, and this presentation is about the results of security tools used in telemedicine. So we're Group 3, and our team members are me, Subhas, Senon, Prince, and Zen. So yeah, can you go to the next slide? Yeah, so for this task, I used Oracle VirtualBox, and the first thing I did was I created a vulnerable virtual machine as a Metasploitable 2 and named it Metasploitable 2 Telemedicine just to make it more authentic for this project. And the second thing I did was I connected both of the machines to NAT network on the VirtualBox. And after that, I assume that the IP address of Metasploitable 2 is some computer on the telemedicine network. And I used ifconfig to look at the IP addresses of both the machines, and the IP addresses were 10.0.2.4 for Metasploit, and for Kali IP it was 10.0.2.15. And after I verified there is like connection between both of the machines, I was ready to do this task. Can you go to the next slide? Yeah, so the first thing I did was I used the command to look at the nmap report of the whole network. And on the conclusion of this task, I found out that in 3.34 seconds, we found that 4 hosts were up. We can see on the last line of the screenshot, it says nmap done to 56 IP addresses. And secondly, I checked for any open ports using TCP connects. It is a kind of a full connection, So yeah, on the screenshot, we can see that it says port 80 is open. So that means it is safe to assume that it is web server for the Oracle VirtualBox NIC. Can you go to the next slide now? Yeah, so the third thing I did was yeah, that's the one. Yeah, so I did was I used stealth scanning. Yeah, so so the conclusion of this command was that with stealth scanning, I was able to look at the MAC address of the network. So yeah, with MAC address, we can do ARP spoofing or man in the middle attack. Can you go to the next slide? Yeah, so the fourth one was a combo search that will enable version detection, OS detection, and script scanning, and many more. And the command was -a, sudo -a, because we need root privileges for this kind of commands. And the conclusion was that we found about the SSH host key and version of SSH that the network is using. So I have described it in a more descriptive way in my report, but yeah, that's it. And most importantly, we found that the trace route, which shows how far away it is from us in the network, which is 0.74 meter per second in our case. And can you go to the next slide? And the last one is OS fingerprinting. And so using this command, we can find about the operating system, what operating system is running in the system. So yeah, in our case, it is Linux kernel 2.6. And that's it from my side. Now I would like to, I would like Sanon to take over now. Thank you.
Thank you, Simon. So for my task, I had to use a tool to harden the targeted network. So for that, I configured the firewall rules. So the benefits of configuring firewall rules are they are the first line of defense. So we need to make sure it's configured accordingly. Configuring firewalls to block certain IP addresses helps you from getting attacked by them. It can also be used to filter contents or packets connected. As default settings don't provide necessary level of protection to the network, a well-configured firewall makes sure that the network is well protected from all sorts of attacks. The weaknesses of firewalls are only as effective as the rules they are configured to enforce, and overly permissive rule set will diminish the effectiveness of a firewall. Firewalls cannot stop social engineering attacks or an unauthorized user intentionally using their access for malicious purposes. Firewalls cannot enforce security policies that are absent or undefined. Firewalls cannot stop attacks if the traffic does not pass through them. So for this task, I used VirtualBox Kali Linux command line to perform the hardening of the network. So for that, first I installed the iftables on my Kali Linux command line. So iftables basically helps you to filter packets or IP addresses. So in this screenshot, you can see I configured the firewall to block specific addresses and TCP ports by using two types of commands. And in this slide, you can see that I configured firewall to block certain websites, MAC address, and block network or fraud on Apache port. You can see you can block any source of websites, sort of like a parental lock on your computer, and you can also block certain type of MAC address that you think might harm your computer. So now I would like to pass on to Jane for the next demonstration of the security tool. Thank you.
Thank you, Sinan. So I'll be demonstrating the security techniques in digital health demonstration of security tools. So we will be using the security tools in, we have to create a virtual environment for the installation and configuration of Metasploitable in Kali Linux for the penetrating testing. So for the allocation of blocks, we have create a virtual machine having RAM size of 256 MB. Installation of software from virtual disk file and create a 10 GB hard disk that is metasploitable.vmdk. Then the Metasploitable configuration page, we have to set the Metasploitable Linux type version 64 bits. Can you please go on to the next slide? The network setting, enable adapter setting that will be attached only adapter having a name host only Ethernet adapter, and adapter type will be Intel Pro by 1000 MT. Can you please go to the next? So MSF login, we will be executing Metasploitable on Oracle VirtualBox. Then we will run the local host, that is the IP is 127.0.0.1 from the terminal that will be accepted. Then to search and show victim IP address, we will run the host and victim IP address will be shown with disclosure date, rank, and time. Then ping of death, TCP synchronization, flood attacks. In TCP synchronization attack, required a three-way handshake to manage and establish connection between sender and receiver. Synchronization flooding attack will get incomplete synchronization.
Hello everyone, this is Prince Shankar, and today as a student 2 I am going to demonstrate the attack using R poisoning. For that I have to use a tool that is called AtterCap. So for that I have given some steps how we're going to perform an attack. For the step 1, you have to connect to a network that can be wireless or wired, like Ethernet. Then for step 2, start AtterCap. Then step 3, select network interface to sniff on. On step 4, identify host on a network. In step 5, select host to target with R spoofing. In last step, launch attacks on the targets. And now in the other 2 slides, I have some screenshots for performing my demonstration of attack. Now I'll go live and perform our demonstration attack. So for that, click on applications and then go on sniffing and spoofing, and then click on AtterCap graphical. Then you will see a screen open, then click on host list and then search for the host list. Scan for the host list. Then you will see different IP address open here. Then click on any of the IP address, add to target 1. So this is going to be our host IP address. Then click on another IP address, then click on add to target 2. So this is going to be an IP address on which we're going to attack. Then click on MIT menu, click on R poisoning, then there will be screen open which says MITM attack R poisoning, which give us two options: sniff remote connections, only poison one way. So you have to click on sniff remote connection, then click on OK. Then you will see uh, our host is added to target 1 and 2.24 is added to target 2. Then click go back and then go open a Wireshark, and then here you can start. As we have started pick up our H network, so click on this network and start capturing. So when you will see a start capturing option, it will take some time and you will see a screen where, yeah, you can see a duplicate use of 10.2.3 is detected using ARP. So this is what is gonna be an ARP poisoning. You can see another one, and there's gonna be another one, like because we have 2.2.3 is our target, so this is gonna be an ARP poisoning.
Hello everyone, my name is Subhas. My student ID is MIT 201553. So today I'll be performing brute force attack using John the Ripper, and we will be cracking a password from a zip file. So I want to share my screen. So this password cracking will be done in Kali Linux, as you all know. So first we should create a text file, a zip file which is protected with some password. So I have already created a zip file which is named protected and which is protected by a password. And the password I put is I love you. And after that, when we create the zip file, we extract the password hash key, which will be MD4, into a text file. As you can see, we'll be takeouting the hash key of the password. So the hash key is here. So this will be the hash key. And John the Ripper is a very good attacking tool to crack the password, as it uses brute force attack. So after that, we can use commands, the format command, which will decrypt the hash key and check into its directory. Since I love you is a common password, it didn't took a long time to crack the password. So this is how we can perform password attacks through John the Ripper. Thank you.